Have you ever trusted something so much, only to realize it may be slowly hurting you? For the Chades, we've been told that certain oils are heart healthy. But what if that label was wrong? What if those golden bottles sitting in your kitchen are quietly damaging your brain, increasing inflammation, and stealing your energy day by day? This isn't about fear. It's about uncovering the truth behind what we eat and learning how simple shifts in our healthy eating habits can protect not just our hearts, but our minds too. Let me tell you a story, one that starts in a quiet kitchen in Kansas. Margaret's kitchen was warm and always smelled like cinnamon to us. At 72, she'd been living alone in a quiet town outside Wichita, Kansas. A retired nurse, sharp and independent, Margaret still prided herself on doing things the right way. She switched to canola oil years ago because the commercial side it was better for her heart and the label promised to lower cholesterol. It felt like a smart, modern choice. She used it for everything, cooking eggs, roasting vegetables, even baking her famous blueberry muffins. And for a long time, she believed that she was taking care of herself, just like the experts advised. But over time, little things started to change. She forgot the mess of familiar roads. Her energy dipped after lunch, leaving her to tear to finish her daily crossword. She only left the stove on, something she'd never done it before. Her doctor noted that she was repeating stories during their weekly chows. Margaret brushed it off. I'm just tired, she said. Still, deep down, something fell off. She wasn't depressed, she wasn't sick, but her mind felt fuzzy. Like there was fog she couldn't clear. 2 visits to her primary doctor led nowhere. Her blood work looked fine. She was told it was just normal aging. Margaret didn't feel normal. She felt like herself slowly slipping away. And the scariest part? She had no idea why. That's when a friend from church handed her the number of a holistic nutritionist in town. She wasn't sure what to expect, but she made the call. The nutritionist's office felt more like someone's cozy living room than a clinic. There were no whiteboards or clipboards, just soft chairs, herbal tea, and someone who finally listened. Margaret explained it everything. The memory lapses, the fatigue, the fog, and after a long pause, the woman gently asked, "What kind of oil do you cook with?" Margaret blinked. "Canola, it's supposed to be good for your heart, right?" The nutritionist nodded slowly. "That's what they told us. But did you know that canola, soybean, and other vegetable oils are highly processed and filled with omega-9 fatty acids? In small amounts, they're fine. But most of us are getting way too much. And that imbalance can trigger chronic inflammation." Margaret had never thought about oil that way. She did trusted it, like most people here again. Back in the 90s, the message was everywhere. Stay away from butter, use vegetable oil, cut the fat. It sounded healthy, but no one explained what those healthy oils could do when consumed daily. Over the Chades. The nutritionist pulled out a diagram, simple, with big labels and soft colors. It showed how too much omega-9 creates an environment in the brain where inflammation boiled slowly. Over time, that can impact memory, mood, and even decision-making. For seniors, it can mimic early cognitive decline. It's like pouring the wrong oil into your car every day, she sighed. The engine won't break right away, but give it a few years, and you do start to notice. Margaret felt a chill. She remembered how her energy had faded gradually, like a light dimming. No warning. No siren, just less of herself, bit by bit. The nutritionist suggested a 30-day change. Remove all processed vegetable oils. Cook with extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil instead, and add whole foods that support brain health. Margaret was skeptical, but also desperate. "Aisle 3, she whispered. She went home that night, opened her pantry, and held out a bottle of canola oil. For the first time, she did see heart healthy. She saw there was something else, a quiet thief that had been welcomed into her kitchen. And so, Without ceremony, she dropped it in the trash and took the first step toward climbing her clarity. Margaret did tell Onion about the change. Not her doctor, not her church friends, not even her doctor. She did want to explain why she suddenly tossed out half her pantry. But she did it anyway. Out went to tinola, to light salad dressings, to box trackers of lead, cholesterol-friendly. In chame olive oil, walnuts, salmon, leafy grains, and real butter, in small, respectful amounts. The first week, she did feel any different. Still a little foggy, still tired by mid-afternoon. But she stuck with it, curious more than anything. She began cooking her morning eggs in olive oil instead of spraying that yellow can with a plastic chop. She made the warm quinoa with saracale, garlic, and a splash of olive oil for lunch. Dinner became simple. Bucket sweet potatoes, roast chicken tigs, and a handful of blueberries for dessert. By day 10, something shifted. It wasn't dramatic, no miracle, but Margaret noticed she wasn't reaching for her reading glasses as much. Her afternoon slump started fading. And one night, after finishing the crossword puzzle without checking the answers, she actually smiled to herself. Not because she got them all right, but because she felt more present. By week 3, her doctor commented on the phone, "You sound more like yourself, Mom." "Like there? Somehow." Margaret blinked. "Do we?" She hadn't realized how far she had drifted from her old self until she began returning to eat. 10 chame Sunday dinner. Her needs chame over with her 2 kids, and Margaret really took it, for the first time in months. The table was full of roasted vegetables, herb chicken, and a colorful with lemon and olive oil vinaigrette. The kids asked for suggestions. Her needs looked surprised. "This tastes amazing," she said. "What do you do differently?" Margaret laughed. It was just started paying more attention. But it was more than that. She felt grown dead again. Clearer, like someone had whipped off her windshield. Her thoughts weren't running in cheerless. Her energy, though still gentle, had a steadier had him. She found herself humming while washing dishes, something she hadn't done in years. It wasn't just about food. It was about truth. Learning to question the labels, the habits, the attitude she underfollowed without talk. Margaret realized that growing older didn't mean giving up her power. In fact, it meant using it more wisely. She read more, listened more, and when her neighbor mentioned struggling with brain fog, Margaret didn't hesitate. She shared her experience, not as a lecture, but as a story. A quiet, hopeful reminder that change was possible, even after 70. What had started as a simple pantry clean-out had turned it into something much more personal. Margaret hadn't just changed oils. She had changed the way she looked at her body, her choices, and her future. And though she did call it a miracle, she felt like she had gotten something back. Not her youth, not actually, but her confidence, her charm, her clarity. That was the real miracle, and it began with one small decision. One bottle thrown away. One question asked, "What if this isn't helping me?" Margaret never looked at food the same way again. Not with fear, but with curiosity. She understood now that healthy eating habits weren't just about calories or cholesterol. They were about keeping her mind alive, her dignity intact, and her place at the table, fully present and fully herself. Margaret's small transformation didn't go unnoticed for long. At her next check-up, her blood pressure was steadier, and her doctor remarked how clear and focused she seemed. "Whatever you were doing, keep it up," he sighed. She just smiled politely and took the compliment away like a small secret. It wasn't about proving Onion wrong. It was about proving to herself that she still had agency over how she felt each day. As spring rolled in, Margaret began keeping a little notebook, not for journaling, actually, but to jot down how certain meals made her feel. She found that simple, whole food soaked in real fats left her energized longer. That sugary dressings and, low-fat, snacks made her sleepy again. No big rules. No diets. Just quiet observation. She also started walking every afternoon, not out of duty, but because her body wanted to move. Her head felt lighter, her feet stayed there, and though she wasn't adjusting youth, she was embracing something deeper, a return to vitality, however soft and slow it jame. More than anything, Margaret had learned to listen, not just to experts, but to her own body. She had on to believe that growing old meant accepting discomfort as inevitable. Now she knew better. Failing good, failing sharp, failing alive. Those weren't illusories. They were clues, signals, proof that even in her 70s, her cheche still mattered. What started in the kitchen had reached into every corner of her life. And with each quiet improvement, she felt not only healthier, but more herself. More rooted, more at peace. That peace showed up in unexpected places. Margaret no longer rushed her mornings. She took time with her coffee, letting the steam warm her hands as the sun filtered in through the kitchen window. Her mind did feel cloudy agimore. She wasn't struggling to remember appointments or losing her train of thought mid-sentence. There was space again, space to think, to breathe, to be fully present in the moment. She started sharing recipes with her doctor. Not fungi honest, just simple meals built around real ingredients and oils that supported, not strained, her body. Olive oil drizzled over roasted carrots. A splash of avocado oil for stir-fried grains. Her grandmother even started asking for granazzabi eggs, which always come with a pinch of sea salt and love. The shift wasn't just physical, it was emotional. Margaret no longer felt like she was slipping away from herself. She was grounded, and that feeling of coming back to who she truly was more powerful than any medicine or supplement she'd ever tried. People often say it's too late to change in your 70s. Margaret would disagree. Not because she became someone new, but because she remembered who she'd always been. Strong, capable, wise, and worth the effort. That was the real lesson. And now, she shares it with you. Because Maib, like Margaret, you fed through Stella Bells, followed Adje, and done what's right, only to find something still feels off. Maybe it's time to look closer, to listen to your body, to honor the part of you that still wants clarity, strength, and joy, even in the small things, like how you cook your eggs or what you put on your salad. So here is a quiet invitation. Open your pantry. What's in there that you prefer question it? Your next chapter may just start with a bottle to let go of. And if this story touched something in you, even just a little, drop a in the comments. It helps me know you are still here, still listening, still growing. Stay kind, stay fresh, and I'll see you again soon. And Maib, just Maib, this story wasn't the only Margaret's to life. It was yours to carry forward too. We live in a world full of advocate, a world where heart healthy gets printed on shiny labels, and we truth without always understanding. But the truth is, wisdom doesn't always come from nose. Sometimes it comes from stillness, from quiet observation, from choosing curiosity over routine. That's what Margaret discovered. She didn't just learn about oils. She rediscovered her own authority. She realized that real health doesn't start in a clinic or on a prescription bed. It starts in small, everyday moments. What we stir into our pants, how we listen to our hunger, whether we chose a confidence or intention. So here is something to ask yourself, not with guilt, but with genuine care. What habits in your life have gone unquestioned for too long? Maybe it's not just about vegetable oils. Maybe it's also about how we let go of things that no longer serve us. That could be a bottle in the pantry, but it could also be a mindset, I'm too old to change. Margaret Prophet od her wise. And so have those sons like her who dared to be curious just one more time. That's what this community is for. A gentle space where we explore better ways to notice ourselves, not to be perfect, but to be present. To be proud of the choices we make at 60, 70, 80, and beyond. Because your health isn't behind you. It's right here, today, in every bit you chose with love and attention. And if this message made you feel seen, I'm grateful. That's why this channel exists. Not to lecture, not to scare, but to remind you, your story still matters. Your body still listens. And yes, you still have time to feel better than you thought possible. So stay curious, friend. Stay kind to your past and gentle with your future. And if you are still with me now, let me know by sharing your favorite simple, healthy food in the comments. I'd love to learn from you, too. We're growing together, one small steps at a time. And since we're growing together, let's keep this connection real. If this video gave you a moment of clarity, page, or even just a curious pause, go ahead and tap the like button. Not because it helps the algorithm, but because it tells me you were here. Still watching, still chatting for yourself in quiet, meaningful ways. If you've ever looked in your pantry and wondered, is this really helping me? You were not alone. And if you've made even one chance this week to support your energy, your brain,